Hi, you guys. This week we're going to start talking about classifications of animals. And I'm going to read a few pages to you here, and then you're going to have a Nearpod to do with a little bit of a report. First thing we're talking about is classification of animals. In order to stay alive, animals need certain things. These include water, food, oxygen, space, and shelter. Animal needs. Food. Animals need food because it gives them energy to move and grow. Different animals have different parts to help them get food. Some meat eaters, such as tigers, have sharp teeth to help them bite and tear meat. Many plant eaters, such as cows, have large, flat teeth for chewing. Birds have sharp beaks for tearing meat or breaking it into seeds. Animals do not have teeth. Animals that do not have teeth or beaks use different methods. For example, houseflies spit saliva on their food, wait until the food becomes gooey, and then slurp it up. Elephants use their trunks to lift drinking water to their mouths. Did you know more than half the human body is made of water? Did you guys know that? As this shark swims, water moves into its mouth and out its gills. The gills take oxygen from the water, letting the shark breathe. Water. Animals need water because it helps them turn food into energy and gets rid of waste. Animals get water in different ways. Dogs lap up water with their tongues. Bees slurp water. Gila monsters get water from food. Oxygen. Animals need oxygen, which is a gas. Animals get oxygen by breathing. Most land animals use lungs to get oxygen from the air. Some animals that live in water get oxygen from the water by using gills. Animals with no lungs or gills get oxygen in other ways. For example, worms breathe through their skin. Did you guys know that? I didn't even know that. We learned something new. Space. Animals need space to move around, grow, find food, and raise their young. Different animals need different amounts of space. A salmon, which is a fish, can swim hundreds of miles, but a gopher may live in the same field for its whole life. Shelter. Animals need shelter or a safe place to be. No animal can be alert all the time, which means it needs somewhere safe to go. Zebras live in herds, so some zebras can watch while the others sleep. Turtles have hard shells to protect them. Ferrets dig into tunnels in the ground where they can hide. And here's a picture of a Gila monster where it gets water from its food. When in danger, a turtle will hide its head, legs, and tail inside its shell. Animal groups. There are millions of types of animals on Earth. Animal classes are groups of animals that are organized by ways that are alike, such as birds or fish. Animal classes are based on shared traits, such as whether or not an animal has a spine. A spine is a line of many small bones that runs down the middle of an animal's back. An animal with a spine is called a vertebrate. We are invertebrates. If you feel in the back of your head and down your back, there is one bone or a long, many bones that make up your spine. An invertebrate is an animal that does not only, let me start over. An invertebrate is an animal that not only has no spine, it does not have any bones at all. Invertebrates are more common than vertebrates. Over here, each bone in the spine is called a vertebrae. The plural is vertebrae. That's why animals with spines are called vertebrates. If you look down here, we have an animal kingdom. We have vertebrates on one side with examples: fish, pigeon, and an iguana. Invertebrates: a spider, snail, and jellyfish. And we're going to start talking about invertebrates. Invertebrates can be found all over Earth. Most are small, such as insects. A few, such as the giant squid, can grow as long as a school bus. Instead of bones, invertebrates have other structures that hold up and protect their bodies. Many have a thin, hard covering called an exoskeleton. Can you say that word? Exoskeleton. Try it. Good. Lobsters, grasshoppers, and spiders have exoskeletons. Some, such as snails and clams, have hard outer shells. Others, such as sea stars, have shells inside their body. A few, such as jellies, depend on the water in which they live to support their bodies. Arthropods make up the biggest part, or the biggest group, of invertebrates. Arthropods. Say that word. There are over 800,000 named species of arthropods. Arthropods have exoskeletons, bodies with more than one segment, and legs with joints. Spiders, ants, centipedes, and shrimp are all arthropods. The photos below show some of the many kinds of arthropods. The joint in the spider's legs help it run quickly. They also let the spider use its legs to grab things or climb up a single strand of web. Centipedes have one pair of jointed legs on each body section. Hermit crabs use shells as extra protection, especially when they are molting. As hermit crabs grow, they have to keep finding bigger shells to move into. In Greek, exo means outer. In other words, an exoskeleton is a skeleton on the outside of the body. In order to grow, animals with exoskeletons must shed their outer layers or molt. Can you imagine what we would look like if our skeleton was on the outside of our body? Okay, go ahead now and go to your Nearpod. And within that Nearpod, it is going to send you to the National Geographic for Kids website, and you are going to be trying to find one invertebrate that interests you. Find out 5 different things, 5 facts about that invertebrate, and then in the Nearpod, you're going to have to list those things. You're going to have to tell me what your invertebrate was and list the 5 things about that invertebrate that were special, or your facts that you learned. Have fun!